So we move on to the pay-per-view, the Young Bucks taking on Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. And Takeshita declines a handshake from Okada at the beginning. And then we just got into an unbelievably stellar tag match for the next 20 some odd minutes between these four. There is a point where Nick gets draped on the top rope and Okada sends Matt over and lands on top of his brother, like face going right near his ass. And as Matt rolls to the floor, Okada jumps off the apron and tells Matt, quote, "How's your brother's dick, huh?" And he said it like it was the greatest achievement of this man's career. "How's your brother's dick, huh?" So Callis is out on commentary, goes after Matt's eye, just tries to like fish hook the eye here and take it out here like he's Haku in a bar. A lot of heat for that. There's a double sharpshooter spot, obviously, in Canada. That's going to get a big pop here. Takeshita refuses to allow Okada to tap. They slap one another as they reach the ropes, and the crowd continues just to be into everything here. We saw Takeshita go for a German mat off the top, rotating him onto the chest. And then we got some miscommunication here where Okada was running into Takeshita and vice versa. And then they fall apart at the seams and they just start going at it and they're throwing punches at one another. And this is just after bumping into one another. So Callis is just saying, let them get this out of their system. And Matt shoves Okada into Takeshita. There's a knee that takes out Okada by mistake. And then Okada prevents Takeshita from hitting the Raging Fire. The Rainmaker misses, taking out Takeshita. And they hit a BTE trigger on Okada for 2. And then set up for the Meltzer driver. Takeshita grabs Nick's leg from the floor. But then he lets go and lets him hit the Meltzer driver. So they hit it to Okada, and Matt pins Okada. 19 minutes and 55 seconds of what I thought was a phenomenal opener. I thought this tag match was just outstanding.
Yeah, as I think we all expected. I mean, you're talking about two of the greatest singles wrestlers and arguably the best tag team.
And after like 3 minutes, I was like, this is going to be just utterly incredible. And they just kept it all up. I would say by the end of this, I think this was my number 2 match on the show.
Okay, interesting. I haven't even internally done those rankings, but like for me, this receives full marks. And
what was your number 8 match?
My world, and I don't know. I'm trying to even remember it all at this point. But like to me, what stands out, we know the quality of action is going to be a given, it's going to be tremendous. But what stands out to me is the storytelling here. And as far as like, can they get along matches go, that old cliche, this to me was about as great of a can they get along match as I think you will ever see. To me, it worked, especially because you could see the progression of logic leading to Takeshita like fully turning on Okada here. Takeshita and Okada, of course, they hate each other, but they're willing to put their differences aside at the start of the match to get the job done. They're doing great. They're actually showing good chemistry. But then you have that little small amount of miscommunication, which was just that little bump. And that was enough for Okada to completely break and snap and just attack Takeshita, really for no reason here. So and then they of course had some really greatly timed friendly fire moments here that I felt did a good job of maintaining the idea that Okada was simply using friendly fire as an excuse to further attack Takeshita, whereas Takeshita, you could tell, genuinely felt bad about attacking Okada because he wanted to win the match for Don Callis. So all throughout the match, like, you're just begging for Takeshita to finally snap and break his loyalty to Callis so that he could attack Okada. And they saved it for like the perfect moment at the end with him holding the Meltzer driver only to let it go as if he was pulling a trigger, named Matt Jackson. So great pro wrestling, of course, but I thought the storytelling to me took it to a higher level.
It is WrestleMania month at postwrestling.com. Wei Ting and John Pollock go live all WrestleMania week beginning Monday, April the 13th. Sign up for the Post Wrestling Cafe and you will get live shows all week long leading into our coverage that weekend of WrestleMania 42. This month, we're also bringing you reviews of Spring Break 2 from New Orleans in 2018 and a special Patrons Pick edition of Rewind Away. Sign up now at postwrestlingcafe.com, and this month, new subscribers get 50% off for the first month. Head on over to postwrestlingcafe.com.